All right, hello everyone. This is my CS362 project. My name's Adam. What I did for my project is I created a kind of a traffic intersection with a couple different components. So the basic idea is you have two roads. You have road one here going horizontally and road two going vertically. So each of those roads will have their own set of traffic lights. And then across road one, you had a set of train tracks. So obviously, if a train comes and road one has a green light, you'll have to change it to red. And then also, both of the roads have their own set of like crosswalk buttons. So kind of how does in the real world, when you push a button, you'll have an LED that'll first have a solid white color, then blink orange, then remain a solid orange. So those are the three basic components. And so if you look at the actual project, this is kind of how it turned out. So these lights here, they're going kind of horizontally. These represent the lights for row two. So if you imagine them kind of set here, these set of lights over here, the LEDs, they represent the kind of vertical lights that you would see if you had them on road one. So you kind of see the red, the RGB LED for yellow, and the green LED hidden back there. This LED right here, this is the LED that signifies if a train's coming. So if you ever drive over train tracks, when there's a train, you kind of see the blinking red lights. So that will blink when there's a train. These two push buttons here are the push buttons, kind of if you're a crosswalk to push them. So this button here, you press if you want to cross a road one. So you press the first button to get across the road here. And then kind of similar for the second button. And then you have the final RGB LED here, which is the crosswalk button. So like I said earlier, it'll start off being a solid orange. Then when somebody hits the button, it'll and when it's appropriate light, it'll turn white and then blink orange and remain solid orange. So a couple things to mention about the project. I wanted to have two LEDs for both of the push buttons, but as you can kind of see, I ran out of pins because each of these RGB LEDs require three pins to use them. So I only have one, but it kind of has the same functionality because you only really need one blinking at a time. A couple other things I want to mention is, so the yellow that these RGB LEDs produce looks a lot like the green, but it's fine because we could differentiate between them. And then the orange in quotes that this LED shows is a lot closer to red. I played around with a bunch of different values, and you really couldn't get it to be an actual orange. And then also the way to signify the train is coming, you push down this force sensor. So any significant force means that a train's approaching, and we'll kind of discuss that a little bit later. And then also there's a serial input that you could do through the serial window. So if you type in any sentence or any text followed by a period, will also signify that a train's coming. I won't show that in the video just because it does the same thing as this, but that option is there. So let's fire it up. They're going to be a little bit lens flares. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, so basic timing route of these LEDs is you have a 10-second green, a 3-second yellow, and then a 2-second red. So you kind of see them swapping around right now. This LED is off because there's no train, and the push buttons haven't been pressed, so this LED still remains red. So now I'm kind of going to demo a train coming, and there are kind of two scenarios for this. So if we go back to the picture, if a train comes and light set one has a green light, and it has to turn to red immediately because we have to stop the traffic going this way. That's what I'll demo because it's an actual change. But if light or row two has the actual green light, I would change. It would just remain green while the train passes by. So we see right now that road one has a green light. We'll press on the force sensor. We see it changing immediately to yellow, then red, and we see the train's coming. So now when a train comes, row two has an extended 15-second green light instead of the regular 10 seconds. And then afterwards, row one will have also an extended 15-second green light to let the extra traffic pass by. And this is kind of just the train passing by. And there you go. So now I'll have an extended light. But yeah, I'll make you guys wait for that. So the next thing to demo is kind of the push buttons that we talked about earlier. So if you press whichever button you want to push to cross the road. So like right now, you'll see that in a second, road two will have a green light. So if you press the second green light the next time around, we'll see that when road 1 has a green light, you want to cross road 2. That's why I pressed that button. Then we'll see that the traffic or the crosswalk light will shine really bright white for 5 seconds, and then it'll blink. And then it'll remain red for when the lights change. Or, I mean, orange. Alright, and then just to kind of demo that you can kind of, mix these together. So, sorry, I was looking at the camera. So if we activate the train again and you press the push buttons for the crosswalk, you'll see next time there's an appropriate green light. So I kind of missed the timing window to get that, but you'll see once the light changes, this will have an extended 15-second green light, and we'll have the longer crosswalk button, because this time will be 7.5 seconds instead of 10 or 5 seconds. There you go. And yeah, that's pretty much the whole project. Most of the hard part rather was kind of designing the code to get all 3 components to work correctly together. And you guys could see that on Piazza if you really want to look at it. But yeah, most of the wiring up was just getting all